Well, good evening. It's me. Just me. So, how's it going? Again, pardon me if I trip a little bit early on in this thing. I'm still trying to get used to not having this echo in my head. Okay, I've finally figured out how to get this echo out of these headphones, and now that it's gone, I'm not used to it. So there. So, how's it going? It's going. A little bit early tonight, I hear they reinstated Mr. Jimmy Kimmel. That was good news. That was really, really good news. Today is Monday, and there's going to be some football on today. And I think it's Detroit and the Ravens today. And I'm pleased with that. Hey, Carmen, what's happening? How are you? I'm definitely going to be pulling up to that game. I had a heck of a weekend. It's coming on Tuesday. Yeah. Well, I was going to talk about that this evening anyway. So, yeah, we could talk about that. As a matter of fact, we can talk about that first, rather than this other thing I was going to talk about, which is a pretty sad thing. I'm great. I'm doing great. I am, again, I had a heck of a weekend. Was a party weekend for me. I don't get to party very much, and it was a Roosevelt all-class weekend, and well, I had a blast. So there, and I'm moving a little slow today, cause how they call it? What they say? We turned up. We turned up big time. So, man, woo. So anyway, and yes, I did see that thing just buffer. Looked like, I don't know if you all saw it, but we ain't gonna worry about that. But yeah, I understand ABC did reinstate the show. And Carmen, we can discuss why that happened. What's going on, James? We can definitely discuss why they reinstated the show. And Carmen, you're the reason they reinstated the show. They looked at the number of people who unsubscribed from their subscription service. That's why they changed their minds. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can find this one. Let me see if I can find this video here. Let's see if I can find this one. Yeah, and I'll play this one first, because I was going to go another direction, but let's do this one first. We can always switch gears around here. Absolutely. We can switch gears. Let me see if I can turn the audio on for that, because it's going to come up with no audio, I bet. Let's do that. I'm going to play this one little clip, this news clip, and then we're going to discuss what actually happened. Check it out.
Hosts are rallying behind Jimmy Kimmel after ABC suspended his show over comments Kimmel made about the response to Charlie Kirk's death. Now, Disney, ABC's parent company, is facing a growing threat of boycotts. CBS News reporter Jared Hill is here with the latest on all of this. Jared, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Errol. I was just looking at Google's trend tracker, and they're showing a recent increase in searches for the phrase cancel Disney Plus since ABC suspended Kimmel's show. Now, from fellow late-night hosts to folks behind the scenes, there are conversations about government-influenced censorship. The Trump administration, though, maintains it's an issue of fairness.
But tonight, We are all Jimmy Kimmel.
From late night peers to legends like David Letterman.
You can't go around firing somebody because you're fearful or trying to suck up to an authoritarian.
A resounding rebuke of ABC's decision to indefinitely suspend Jimmy Kimmel Live after Kimmel's comments about the alleged killer of conservative activist Charlie Kirk in a monologue.
The MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
Two major TV station groups, Nexstar and Sinclair, quickly announced they'd preempt the show just hours after Trump-appointed FCC Chairman Brendan Carr threatened broadcasters who failed to take action against Kimmel. Nexstar is currently seeking FCC approval for a $6.2 billion merger with another media company, Tegna. Thursday, Carr suggested it's just the beginning.
This is a massive shift that's taking place in the media ecosystem. I think the consequences are going to continue to flow.
On Air Force One, President Trump more direct about what could happen to broadcasters.
They give me only bad publicity from the press. I mean, they're getting a license. I would think maybe their license should be taken away.
Anna Gomez, the only Democrat-appointed FCC commissioner, called Kimmel's suspension a dangerous new precedent. Now, congressional Democrats are calling on an investigation into the FCC chair. Meanwhile, even if ABC brings Kimmel back, Sinclair Media Group says they won't air the show again unless Jimmy Kimmel offers an on-air apology and donates Kirk's company, Turning Point USA. So far, though, Errol, no word from Kimmel himself on any of this.
All right, Jared, thank you very much.
Well, isn't that special? They want him to apologize and donate money to Turning Point USA. I don't think so. I don't think so. I got to tell you, as far as I'm concerned, I know what happened. Those subscriptions started drying up. Those subscriptions started drying up. People like you, Carmen, voted with your wallet, and they understood, uh-oh. It must have been a revelation. Product is the one who makes the decision, not them. Okay? You know, you got people paying you for your product. And you're going to withhold the product that they want and then expect them to keep paying because you're afraid of someone else. I don't think so. I do not think so. I don't get it. I think they realized how divorced they are from the actual business. They're so drunk on getting all the money. They're so drunk on having people start a subscription and just automatically pay every month and don't think about anything else. You know, everything else we do is okay. Don't worry about what we do. Just keep paying. But that's not the way it works. I understand that those Google searches literally crashed their subscription site. People trying to cancel. That is how you defeat these people, by not participating. That's exactly what I was talking about when I say don't participate. I guarantee you, they need you more than you need them. And they're starting to understand that. They're starting to get it. They need you more than you need them. And people walking the streets are starting to understand this. But I'm going to show you, I'm not going to show you, I'm going to read something from the chairman of the Grievers, from U.S. Steel. I just got this today. And so wondering what they're going to do about Trump. Well, there's nothing they can do about Trump. They can't do anything about Trump. The thing about it is they're stuck between a rock and a hard spot because Trump is doing all that threatening. Now, when they talk to the FCC guy, when they talk to him, they're going to explain, hey, look here, y'all are going to ruin my business. You're going to kill my business talking about getting rid of people. So, y'all going to have to, Trump's going to have to grow some thicker skin, because you know what? He complains that they do 97% bad press against Donald Trump. It's always 97% bad press against Donald Trump. It is my argument, it is my contention that if they are only doing 97% bad press against Donald Trump, they're missing 3%. Because this guy does 100% bad shit. So if they only doing 97%, somebody missing 3%. Now that's his complaint. 97% bad. That's because you're a 97% bad motherfucker. You know, that's easy to figure out. So I tell you what, my complaint is, I need to find out who missing the other 3%. That's what we need to find out. So this is going to put them between a rock and a hard place, because it is absolutely the people who support the programming that is the important one. And if we do not participate, that's going to turn them around. Now, I'm going to read this, and it's an interesting message. Got this today. This is the state we are in as far as social media is concerned and where you work. Okay? Check this out. For some time now, I've been warning people about their social media profile containing works at U.S. Steel. On your social media, you can put it where it says works at, you can put wherever you work at, U.S. Steel. I had it on mine at one point. I don't know, I haven't checked in so long. It may still say it. But anyway, today we had one of our members got in trouble for what was deemed to be offensive comments on a social media post. And the reason they got in trouble was because their profile header said works at U.S. Steel. Please, anybody on social media, check your profile and be sure that it does not say works at U.S. Steel. When your profile says works at U.S. Steel, that draws a nexus to work, and you can get in trouble if somebody turns in something offensive that you typed. We have a lot of cases such as this in arbitration. We've lost a lot of cases in arbitration in the past about what is being posted on social media. So companies like U.S. Steel is going after people just based on what's on their social media. And we hear it all the time. The Karens out there that's getting fired. You remember you had Karens that was calling the police on black people and lying, saying, hey, this guy just attacked me. And there's all kind of cameras around that show the guy didn't do anything. And they're putting this on their social media posts, and they're getting fired. Just long as anybody, and this is a warning for people working at U.S. Steel. Take that works at U.S. Steel off your shit if you're going to be out here posting bad stuff about stuff around that's going on, because somebody at U.S. Steel can deem that something to fire you for. And nobody can get your job back. So this is the world we live in now. this is where we are today. But the one thing that can't happen and should not be happening is the government itself. The government itself should not be going after people or going after companies and forcing companies to go after people. That's, the government has guidelines completely against that. And matter of fact, the first executive order that Trump sat there in that office and penned out, the very first one was freedom of speech, because they was complaining that Biden was coercing people like Facebook to stop allowing them to lie on Facebook. And Elon Musk was saying the same thing, that they were upset that they're not allowed to lie on those platforms. So this was what he called relief for freedom of speech, only to turn around and go after it himself. So there. That is crazy. It is crazy, but that's the world we live in. Don't know what to tell you. But thanks to some very smart people out there, Mr. Kimmel will be back on the air. Why am I I'm constantly getting some kind of there's a spider crawling in front of my Ring camera. Hey, what's up, Charles? Well, we were just sitting here talking about Mr. Jimmy Kimmel and him being returned to the air tomorrow. And I'm sitting here getting this constant alert back and forth, and there's a spider crawling across the front of my Ring camera. And I'm starting to, see quite a bit of him. But anyway, and we were talking about why they reinstated him. And it's because the people spoke. The people were unsubscribing from their service. And rightly so. I'm so proud of the people that did this. I'm not a subscriber myself. I do watch Channel 7, which is ABC here. I do watch that, as in tonight. I'll be looking at Monday Night Football. But that's free for me. So, but the Disney and Hulu part that people are, unsubscribing from, I agree with them to do just that. And that's what got Kimmel back on. They could talk about, they shouldn't have took him off. And their corporate message was, after discussions with Mr. Kimmel, deep discussions and blah, 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 woof, 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 we decided to reinstate the show, yada, yada, yada. Well, the yada, yada, yada was, and all these people was motherfucking us so bad, we had to change direction. Yeah. That's the quiet part. So that's the quiet part. Anyway, so thank goodness he's back on. I wish that they could have done that with Stephen Colbert, but in his case, they made the deal, and then they said they were not going to have a late night show anymore. And I think a lot of people figured that to be different. Now, it's the exact same thing. The exact same thing happened at CBS, but they did it in a smarter way. They didn't take his show off the air. They announced that they were canceling having any late night show at all next summer. So that was more of a That was more of a buffer, okay? It was for the same reason, same exact reason. Donald Trump, the FCC, got in there and did the same thing. Just read an article. They supposed to apologize and give him a sizable donation. Yeah, well, that was what they were asking. I do not know if that's what he's going to do, but they were asking him to make a donation to Turning Point USA. You know, or and I'm assuming that the family has control of that now. I don't know how that goes, but that's coercion, okay? Have you heard the word coercion? That's what that is. That is coercing somebody to get to where you want them to be. That's extortion. You're going to extort money from a guy to give him something that belongs to him back. You know, his show, this is his product. You know, in order to give him his shit back, you're going to have to give us some money. Yeah, come on, give me a break. Give me a break. And the apology. The funny thing about the apology part of it is Jimmy Kimmel didn't say anything about Charlie Kirk. He did not say one word about him. Nothing. So who are you apologizing to? You know, that's my question. Who is he apologizing to? He didn't say anything about the man, so he was talking about the Republicans and the Republican organizations and all of that. So, apologize. Anyway, and if he does, he does. If they somehow says, come on, give us some kind of statement just so we can kind of smooth the fellas down. If he chooses to do it, okay. He may come on tomorrow night or the next night. I understand those shows are taped, so he's probably taping today for tomorrow. So if he apologizes, oh well, it's okay. One thing about it, the one thing we know is the reason he's coming back is the subscribers said, fuck you, we'll walk and take our money elsewhere. That's the reason he's coming back. We know that, okay? So, that's the way it is. And kudos to all of you subscribers that tuned out. And I'll be looking at ABC tonight, watching the football game, and enjoying every minute of it because it's free. And I like free stuff. So, there. And this is probably going to be a really good game. I think it's Detroit and the Ravens. And that just sounds like that's going to be a great game. And Jacksonville Jaguars are doing really good this year. And I understand, I didn't see it. I saw the score, couldn't believe my eyes. The Bears won Sunday. I couldn't believe it. I don't know what they got a hold to, but they managed to win against Dallas last Sunday. I'm almost glad I didn't see it. So there. Okay. Hey, by the way, fellas out there, all you fellas that's watching, somebody tell me, is this your woman right here? Is this your woman?
Don't worry about it. I got a date.
Whose woman is that? My man thought he was going to get away with not paying for dinner. Oh, boy, the internet is undefeated. I got to tell you, the internet is undefeated. Okay, check this out. I got a story I'm about to play that is going to knock your socks off. You know, when I looked in the email and got this story out the email, I was just shocked, okay? I couldn't believe my ears when I got this one story. And when I looked at it, I was thinking, I immediately thought, this is how we get a Donald Trump. This is how we get to a place where we got a Donald Trump. I just play it and y'all tell me about it.
6 children found padlocked inside a storage unit in Milwaukee.
Yeah, this is a heartbreaking reality. The new images behind us really showing those conditions. Investigators describe them as horrific. Within the hour, the mother and father now charged, appearing in court. They're identified as Charles DePriest and Asia Zelinsky. Now, 12 News' Kendall Keys live at the Milwaukee County Courthouse.
All right, Kendall, very alarming details here. The mother told investigators the children had been living inside the storage unit for a month and a half. No electricity, no running water.
Right, Deanna, someone heard the couple's infant crying inside the storage unit and called 911. That's when police and firefighters broke the padlock and found the 6 children living in deplorable conditions. Now they're in the care of Child Protective Services and their parents are in jail. StoreSafe Self-Storage at 27th and Silver Spring offers secured units for people to store belongings, furniture, cars, equipment. But in the early morning hours Tuesday, someone heard a baby cry from inside a unit and called 911.
Police are on scene requesting a forced entry. They believe a baby is locked in one of the storage lockers.
12 News there as Milwaukee police and firefighters entered the unit. Inside, 6 kids, the youngest 2 months old and the oldest just 9. Officers say the children appeared to be asleep. The 5-year-old telling a detective, "We're not supposed to be loud." Photos from inside show the cramped quarters, a twin mattress and a beat-up sofa. Investigators also photographed a bucket used as a toilet. Detectives describing the smell in the unit as so putrid they could not remain inside, even with the garage door open.
The only light these poor children had to have was the crack of light that came through the bottom of the garage. We have your children stating that they had no food, that the only food they found was from the garbage.
A criminal complaint charges parents, Charles DePriest and Asia Zelinsky, with multiple counts of child neglect.
Ma'am, do you understand those charges and the potential maximum penalties? Yes, ma'am.
Investigators found the parents sleeping in a Ford Expedition in the parking lot with their dog. One of the children told police she was upset the dog got to sleep in the car while she and her siblings slept in the unit.
The middle row was completely empty, and the dog had the back row all to himself as these children slept in a locked storage container with one twin mattress on the floor.
The 9-year-old tasked with taking care of his siblings, telling police he would not know how to get out in an emergency.
This is horrific. Ma'am, I see you are broken up. I hope you realize how lucky you actually are that none of these children have died.
Kendall, this is a story that's really just hard to wrap your mind around. Investigators say the family was receiving assistance.
All right, Deanna, food stamps and $2,000 a month in Social Security benefits. Mom told investigators the family had gotten kicked out of Joy House, which is a shelter for women and children. And the Milwaukee Rescue Mission did confirm they were giving the family assistance in July, but said they verified the family had permanent housing before they left the shelter. Now, both parents remain in jail tonight.
All right, still a lot of questions left to be answered. Kendall Keys, live in Milwaukee for us tonight. Thank you.
I personally, I was speechless. I'm still speechless after seeing it again. I'm just, and they said they didn't have any place to live. Well, let me ask a question. They said that they were kicked out of some place. I don't know. It said some house that kicked them out. But they getting $2,000 a month in Social Security and food stamps. $2,000. Yeah, crying because she got caught. That's why she crying. Yeah, she crying because she in jail and ain't getting out. That's why she crying. Okay. But I know $2,000 is not a lot of money in today's economy. But $2,000 could have got some kind of shelter. Some kind of shelter. But the putting the kids in a storage unit and locking the door, it's a big garage door. It's just a garage, small shed. And putting a padlock on the outside of it. I mean, and in the parking lot, in the SUV, sleeping, and the dog has a comfortable row all to themselves. Is crying really gonna help? Well, it may help her spirit some. That's it may help her spirit. It might help her spirit. And had an open row in the vehicle. There was an open row in the vehicle. And the dog had a row all to itself. How crazy is that? How? And then they had a bucket to use as the bathroom, Most places I thought had cameras, nobody saw this. The place probably had a camera, but they're not monitoring anybody putting anything into the unit, like people. They're not looking for something like that. They're looking for somebody going in and breaking into a place, And I'm assuming, maybe they went in the evening and, a lot of assumptions I could make. I don't know. I'm just, you immediately want to assume some of the things they were doing for a good reason. So that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to say maybe they went in late at night and only had them in there during the sleeping hours, and they woke up and got them out in the morning and went out for the day, whatever. I'm just hoping something like that. I don't know. But no matter how you slice it, that's the craziest shit you ever heard. And my point earlier, you see, people will see this the first thing they're going to see is these people are black. And the assumption is going to be that this is what black people do. These people could have been white, and everybody would have thought, that's terrible, it's awful. Nobody would have said, this is what white people do. But people will see this and say, this is what black people do. The other part to that is, this is the kind of thing where somebody from the Republican side can use this and make an argument for a Donald Trump. And yeah, it's bad that the kids had to experience that. It's terrible. It is terrible. Like the one kid said that he or she felt bad that the dog got to sleep in the car and they had to sleep in there. Put the dog in the damn garage, you know. Let the kids sleep in the car, put the dog in the garage. The dog would have been okay in the garage. How crazy is that? So, and again, $2,000 a month ain't a lot of money, but I just feel like 2,000 could have got you somewhere, got you in something. But some people are just, you know, they get kicked out of every place, you know, because of, you know, bad behavior. You know, let's just say it the way it is. Some people cannot keep a place to stay because of bad behavior. Now, I don't know what that $2,000 a month covers. I don't know if that's money that the kids are getting. I don't know if that's money that she's getting or money that he's getting. Maybe he's getting a crazy check. I don't know. But that is crazy. And again, once you see it, you can't unsee it. How much they were paying for the storage. That could have been a motel, right? See, that's what I'm thinking. You could have got a motel for $2,000 a month. You could have been in a motel. Or, you know, I'm pretty sure there's some place you could have got for $2,000 a month. You could have paid somebody to stay in their basement for $2,000 a month. The only thing that tells me that maybe not is, you know, sometimes there's drug use going on. You can't throw that out. Now, nobody said they was on drugs. I haven't heard anything about them being on drugs. But there's sometimes drug use, and then there's sometimes bad behavior. You know, fighting all the time, noisy all the time. You know, if you're going to be living somewhere, you got to respect everybody else you live around. A lot of us don't do that. A lot of us don't respect the fact that we have to live around other people. Was that an issue? So, I've definitely seen that in my day. But I just, you know, just the thought of it is enough to just drive you insane. Just the thought. And that is how some people will justify, some people will take things like this and justify voting for a Donald Trump. They'll say, see, we need to do something about these people. See, these people is who they'll be targeting, these people. You know. That's the next group of people that, you know, the jackboots will be going after. These people. So I just thought, yeah, man, crazy. Anyway, And after that, to be honest, when I saw it earlier, I wanted to have a drink, and now that I've seen it, I want to have a drink again. But one other point before I do decide to get out of here and go look at this game. You know, all of this craziness that went on over the last week, just all sorts of craziness, you know, with the incident, the what went down over the weekend. There's this feeling that I'm getting that folks are starting to understand. I hope I'm right. But it's starting to feel like there are some people starting to understand. Yeah, the year. Yeah, this is a different kind of year here. You know, this is a different kind of year. But I'm starting to feel like some people are starting to get it. What I hope is we can get together and start to understand, just like what happened with ABC, what I have been preaching, advocating for, is for us to not participate. That's the language that is understood. Let's not participate. You know, when they come to town, let them run through town. Let them run through town, and don't, you know, if you decide to join a march, go join the march. But show them that you're not participating in what they want you to participate in. Just like with the ABC thing. ABC thought that Disney, was going to do what they was going to do, and people going to keep spending money. Let's cut off the money. The Democrats right now are in a position. They're in a position to come on the airwaves. They should make a commercial and say right now, the Republicans have the House, the Republicans have the Senate, the Republicans have the White House, the Republicans have the Supreme Court. We don't have any power. We don't have anything. The Republicans are running it all. So, when you get upset, when the money stops flowing, point the finger at the Republicans. If they need our help, it's going to cost. It's going to cost a lot. See? Speaking of that, I emailed the DNC and gave them the idea of having a strike, all of us. Absolutely. Absolutely. I've been doing the same thing. Absolutely. And that decision may be made for us if and the Republicans floated this to the Democrats. Listen to this shit. They said, hey, let's do a continuing resolution for a couple of months to give us more time to negotiate. The very people who are now not negotiating with the Democrats, the people who have refused to negotiate anything with the Democrats over this money that's coming due, this deadline that's coming due. I'm going to say this again. They've refused to do any negotiating. And they send out this letter. Let's do a continuing resolution to give us more time to negotiate. Up yours, buddy. I thought that was just like, who does that? You won't negotiate with me, but you want me to sign a resolution so you can have more time to not negotiate with me. No, thank you. So we're going to see. We got 1 week, approximately 1 week. Last day of September is the deadline. First day of October is the day the shit hits the fan. Let's find out if we got backbone in the Senate. Right now, the Senate look like they gonna stand stiff. Let's find out. Let's find out if they gonna stiffen up. Because that's what I think they should do. They should stiffen up. That's my opinion. They need to hold the line. Tell them, hey, you know, we're not participating. Don't participate. That's it. That's all I got on that. I'm going to cut it short right here. And hopefully we'll see some nice stiff backbones in the Senate. Hopefully. We'll find out in a week. I've been listening. Haven't been hearing anything that's alarming. So, on this note, I'm going to get out of here and get ready to go see if I can see some of this football game. Thanks for hanging out. 7-7. Oh my goodness. I'm missing out on some good shit. Okay, everybody. Appreciate y'all. We'll see you Wednesday. Okay? Take it easy.